11 children's nurseries in some of the most deprived neighbourhoods in the south are under threat because they have become too expensive to run. The YMCA Fairthorn Group operates 18 sites across Hampshire and the Isle of Wight, providing 15 hours per week of free nursery care for 3- and 4-year-olds. But rising costs have seen the charity subsidising places at a cost of £500,000 per year, partly because the government grant hasn't kept up with inflation. Research shows that early years education boosts children's educational and social development. It also helps enable parents to return to work. The charity is desperately seeking new owners and says the loss to local communities would be devastating. Chrissy Sturt has the story.
3, 2, 1, go!
The YMCA's mission is to give children happy, healthy life experiences. But there's a question mark hanging over its nursery here and 10 others in Hampshire. The problem is a numbers one. The YMCA says it's been left with a £500,000 funding gap.
Really, we've been covering this, subsidising this scheme for a number of years, and it's now up to £500,000 a year that we are subsidising out of our charitable funds to make up the difference. And with the cost of living rise, wider cost of living rise, it's just got to an unsustainable point.
This is a lovely nursery with fantastic facilities, so why can't the provider make it commercially viable? There's just one reason, they say, and that's because they're chronically underfunded by the government.
The government's own research shows, and the government know this, that the funds that they provide only actually covers 2/3 of the cost of full care. So organisations like us are having to subsidise the rest of the cost of this.
The reality is that this is a chronically underfunded sector. It's been neglected for a decade, and now we're starting to see the consequences. Providers have no margin whatsoever because they have been neglected so badly. They have no leeway. They can't support parents. They want to support parents. They want to keep their costs low, but they cannot do that. And so the alternative is they have to put their prices up or they go bust.
The YMCA is trying to seek other providers to step in, but that's far from certain.
If the YMCA can't make the sums add up in a setting like this, why could anybody else?
I think other providers may well look at the structure of how the setting is run and adjusting the way it's run and the offer to parents. That is another option for people.
If these nurseries close, it's deprived areas which will be again missing out.
So I think the impact is devastating for the children, the families, the staff. Parents are worried, like if they're having to leave their jobs because they don't have the childcare facility, like for the days and times that they're needing.
10 other providers have expressed an interest in taking on these sites. In Gosport, the YMCA will be gone by next month. Chrissy Sturt, BBC South Today.
Well, we've got a comment from the Department for Education which told us that it recognised there were challenges facing the sector. It insists it's investing millions in better training for staff who work with preschool children and had set out plans to help providers run their businesses more flexibly.